Hey, what's going on, you guys? This is Madam, and I'm coming back to you once again. This time, I'm going to go over the insider, and this is in the crime column, and this is about a psychiatrist held patients against their will in an inpatient facility so he could fraudulently bill Medicare at the highest rate, Arkansas investigators say. The article was done by Michelle Mark, and it says a prominent Arkansas uh, psychiatrist is under investigation for Medicare fraud. Documents from state investigators say Dr. Bryant Hyatt billed Medicare to the greatest extent possible. The document said at least some of the patients were held against their will under Hyatt's watch. A well-respected Arkansas psychiatrist held patients against their will in an inpatient facility, refused to personally evaluate or check on them, and then claimed they were unstable so he could fraudulently bill Medicaid at the highest rate possible, according to documents filed earlier this year by Arkansas state investigators. As Insider previously reported, 7 former patients have sued Dr. Bryant Hyatt in Northwest Medical Center, where Hyatt oversaw the Behavioral Health Services unit, alleging he trapped them in the facility. 3 of those patients said they were not permitted to leave until sheriff's deputies arrived with court orders to escort them out. A search warrant affidavit, the Arkansas State Attorney's General, the Arkansas State's Attorney General's Medicare Fraud Control Unit filed in January documented allegations that Hyatt fraudulently billed Medicaid, Medicare, and health insurance companies despite having no contact with patients. The search warrant requested Hyatt's cell phone records between January 2019, and May 2022. Hyatt, an attorney representing him in a separate legal matter, has his private practice didn't respond to Insider's request for comment. Hyatt's billing practices were so extreme that they screwed the data for the entire Medicaid program in Arkansas. The affidavit said doctors typically bill one of 3 medical codes each day of a patient's hospital stay, indicating a patient is stable in or approving. One indicating that a patient is responding inadequately, and one indicating a patient is unstable or has a significant complication. According to the affidavit, 99.95% of the continuing hospital care claims for Medicaid patients under Hyatt's care were billed under that third code, which bills at the highest rate. In the affidavit's analysis of Arkansas top 10 billers for subsequent hospital care, Hyatt billed more Medicaid recipients at the highest code than any other doctor billed for all of their Medicaid patients. The affidavit noted that billing patients at an inappropriately high rate is a type of Medicare fraud known as upcoding. Northwest Health did not immediately respond to Insider's request for comment on the Medicaid fraud investigation, but previously told Insider that Hyatt had been an independent physician contracted to oversee the hospital's behavioral health patients. It says hundreds of hours of footage showed no contact between Hyatt and patients, investigators said. The affidavit said Medicaid fraud investigators obtained 2 months worth of footage from inside Northwest Behavioral Health Unit and have reviewed hundreds of hours so far. The investigators said that they saw no instances where Hyatt entered a patient's room or met with a patient outside of their room. The investigators wrote that on March 15, 2022, for one instance, Hyatt could be seen making his rounds while never leaving the hallway to enter the patient's room. On the day in particular, Hyatt had 74 patients under his care and completed his rounds with an average of fewer than 20 seconds per patient, the affidavit said. These allegations raise numerous issues. The patients have a right to know their treating physician. If Dr. Hyatt was not their doctor, then who was? The affidavit said. At least some of the patients on the unit were being held against their will, and only a physician could make the decision to impose a 72-hour hold. Under Arkansas law, facilities like Northwest can hold patients involuntarily up to 72 hours if they deemed to be a danger to themselves or others, so long as they are evaluated by a physician within the first 24 hours. Facilities must obtain a court order to hold patients beyond 72 hours. According to the 7 lawsuits former patients filed, Hyatt had no legal authority to detain them in the facility against their will, even in cases when an involuntary 72-hour hold was implemented, since Hyatt or any other doctor never evaluated them. Northwest Health abruptly terminated Hyatt's contract last May, according to the affidavit. Wow. We take very seriously our responsibility to provide safe environment of care for our patients and for our team members, Northwest told Insider in a statement. Last spring, we undertook a number of actions to ensure our patients' safety, including hiring new providers responsible for clinical care of our behavioral health patients in early May 2022. Okay? So that is the end of the article as it stands right there. Like, this is very disturbing. How can you hold a person against their will and then bill, their insurance? You never evaluated these people. You never, tried to get to the root of the problem. And I think this is not just a single solitary thing. I'm pretty sure this happens in other places in the United States. But Arkansas caught it. Um, so kudos to the person that was actually looking out and, checking to make sure everything was good. Hopefully these people can get the proper care that they deserve and that they truly do need. And they will get their justice and their day in court just like anybody else. But, I mean, as for the doctor, I'm not surprised. A lot of times we put a lot of trust into the, professionals that we choose to, you know, uh, utilize, and sometimes they let us down. Sometimes it's not about the, you know, giving the patient the best care. Sometimes it's, based on, if I get this many patients to do this, try this certain drug or, this certain service, then I'll get a bonus. And, when it becomes about money, you just really need to just get out the medical field um, altogether, because you're not helping anyone in that instance. You're actually hurting more people than you help. But that's just my opinion. But I would like to know how you feel about this. So drop down in the comment section as we always do. Let's chop it up. I love to hear from you. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And with that, you guys, thank you so much. I truly do appreciate you watching this video. And with that, I will get with you guys in the next one.